So I've gone on and stamped the image here, as you saw in the previous video, and I've selected some colors from my markers, and I'm going to be using several markers, the Spectra Noir Classic and the Illustrator Classic. And then I also have one or two of the Azure, and that is for the skin tones. So I'm going to be using a variety of markers here. And what I did was, when I gathered all the markers that I was going to use, I made a list of everything, and I did a little color chart, little code here. And then also on the back, some of the neutral colors that I'll be using. So this is just a good way to remember what colors you use for whatever image that you're going to be coloring. You don't have to use these colors. I wanted to get as close to the illustration that's on the packaging as much as possible. So I chose, colors that was close to the illustration. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the process here. So what I'm going to do now is either start with the face and then work my way out. What I think this coloring process is going to be a series of short videos, because this would really take a while to do all the coloring, and I don't want to do a video where everything is all speeded up. So I'd rather just do a process that works for me. So let's just jump into the basic tone for the coloring of the face, and then we'll go from there. So I'm just playing along. I'm by no means a professional, but I do think you need to know where your lights and darks, where it's coming from. And so, or your shadows. So I just try to pick out where the shadows are coming from, or where I want them to come from. And in this case, I think my lighting, I want it to come this way. So shadows will probably be more to the right here. So I'm just going to go in and fill in these areas here just to build up the tone. Now I'm just playing around, and I don't want to rush, because I don't want it to look like I'm just throwing colors together. So that's just something to keep in mind when you're doing your coloring. You just want to build your colors. So this color is one I just used here. Linen. My camera does not want to focus, but this says linen, and this is the Illustrator. So now I have this Azure, and this is the Flesh Tone number 6. So again, I'm just going in and building my base here. Almost like, I guess, for you folks that, put makeup on, and you're building your concealer and your your base and your foundation. That's how I look at this. And just have fun in the process too, you know. I'm learning as I go. And I just like experimenting. And a lot of these can, get into a lot of detail if you so choose. But I'm just going to keep it simple. And I've done a couple of facial colorings, if you will, with some other stamps that I've had or that I have. And I think I posted those on my Instagram. And I believe I did. But I'll go in and see if I can find some other illustrations that I've done using stamps. So far, we zoom in on that so you can just get an idea, see how it's coming together. So I want her eyes to be a golden color. So I'm going to use this. This is golden brown, and this is the classic Spectra Noir. And I'm just going to put little specks of brown there. And then I'm going to go in with Spectra Noir Satsuma. Because I want her eyes to be golden. And I think that works. That works really well. And then you see how the colors start to blend together. And so that's why you go in, you build up light, and then you go in dark. I got this maple color here in the classic Spectra Noir, so I'll just go in, do a little shadowing here under the brow, right underneath the hairline, and follow that out around the frame of the face, just to accentuate the nose, under the nose, and then the bridge of the nose, and under the chin. And see, that's why I say this process can go on for hours, especially if you really get into coloring and you want it to look as realistic as you possibly can. So now I'll go back in with the linen and help blend some of that color out so it won't just look so pasty. And then just let just a little bit. And one thing I like about alcohol markers is that you can blend the colors that you want and come up with some surprising tonal shades. So This is her cheekbones, so I'm gonna go in real light. Just using a little flicker motion here. And on the nose. And then just fill in some areas. And you see how that kind of comes together. Now I know it's not coming across on the camera or what you're seeing. But again, this is just a stage of building your colors. So some of this I'll let dry a little bit. There we go. Because I definitely want to accentuate the cheekbones. So I have another color here. An Illustrator. And this one is called Old Rose. So I'm going to put a little bit of this on her lips. And then I'll come back in with another color. And just around the face here, just to frame a little bit of shadow. And see how when you use different colors, how they help to bring the image. Gives it gives more dimension. So you just go around your basic shapes there and you just start pulling together. So that's the face. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to stop the video now and I'll come back and we'll work on hair and the other elements in this stamp. So we'll see you in the next video.